This conference will now be recorded.
Though this is very vast topic, couple of hours is not. I mean, it's very less basically. It's not sufficient. But the idea is to get you comfortable with programming languages like Python and all, so that way you can get guided. I mean, you should not be having fear. Though Python, you required at least 6 months of practice minimum for becoming a programmer in Python. So yeah, what is Python? So yeah, it's programming language. Now it is dynamic. The readability means uh, if you read the program, it's easier to read and understand. And it's interpreted language. Interpreted means typically most of the time we have two types of programming language. For the backend, I'm talking about. One is like compiled language. One is interpreted. Compile means C, C++, Java, and all. Interpreted means Python, Perl, PHP, and all. So you don't need to compile this. Compilation and interpretations will happen automatically while running. History, I think it's not so important, but this slide is also outdated. The Python, the version which we are using is 3. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, and let me tell you, 1 is different from 2, 2 is different from 3. So you cannot backport. All are different release. So the current release is 3, and important thing is like this release is been designed for more AI, ML, mathematics, data science, and all kind of things. So yeah, Python, if you're learning, it's good for many of the latest you know things. Okay, so Python is becoming popular. It's not becoming, I would say it's popular programming language. Adoption for Python is very high, and that's the reason we are learning. Though we can use Python in the infrastructure programming, you can learn Python in the ML, DevOps, SREs, AI ops, mathematics, data science. Everywhere you can use Python, so that's not a problem. Okay, so I'll ignore some of the stuff because it's not important for all of us, and so on. Now, this is a good slide to understand some of the popular application which has been developed using Python. So, if you want to develop a web application in simple way, then there are few things which is very popular: framework, Django, Turbo Gears, and Web2Py. Now, if you want to develop application which is based on the API based application, then Flask is important. Bottle, Pyramid, Flask is most important. There are many CMS and ERP has been developed using Python, which is a freely available. You can go and check it out. One is like Django CMS, Blown, Magazine, and stuff like that. So yeah, Flask Django is the most popular framework what we have. Flask is a little bit easier. Django is having a little complexity for that. Okay, so yeah, it's been used for the big data also, machine learnings also, networking also, and I mean any places you go, Python is leading in the different domain. Okay, so this is something which we have. Also, I just said Python 2 is completely different between the Python 3, so do not compare because Python 3 program will not run in the Python 2. Python 2 programs will not run in Python 3. Now, if you see that these are the executables, this is how you differentiate. So Python executable will come with the Python and Python 3 will come with the Python 3. IPython means interactive Python. You can use it. IPython 3. And pip is like a package manager for Python. Package manager means just like apt yum, right? So you can install the packages in the operating system. So same way in programming language also we have a package manager concept where you can download the external libraries or developed in Python and use it. So using pip you can download and remove. So pip and pip3 you can use in the Python 2 and Python 3. Okay, so this is something what we have. Uh, hmm. This is the official website for the Python, where we can download the Python. There is some editor also, you will find it free of cost, which you can use it. So anyways, you will do that. That's not a problem. For the Windows and Linux, as you have latest version, I think 3.9 is the latest version. This slide is little outdated, so just update yourself. Okay, so if you want to install in Windows, you can use Choco if you want, but you can install through the exes also. Mac Brew, you can use it if you want, or you can install through the DMG package also. It's up to you. Okay, so that is something which we have. Now there is one editor which I was talking about, which is free, which is called Jupyter. Okay, so you can use it if you want. It's a free editor, but nowadays everyone is using the editor which is like Visual Studio Code and all, which is most popular actually. Okay, so this is something. Docs, we have a dedicated website like docs.python.org and so on, and things like that. Okay, so this is something which you have. Now, I was talking about the pip, right? Pip3, which we use for the Python. So pip is like a kind of apt or yum. So this will help you to install the library, which is external. But where is the library? So there is one website which is called PYPI. If you search for PYPI in Google, it will take you to the website. And there, people, anyone who write the Python code package, basically Python package for any functionality worldwide, they contribute, they upload their code on the PYPI. So using pip, you can get the free code, free libraries, free module, free packages written in Python. So you don't need to develop every functionality. There are so many functionality already has been developed. You can get it from there. Okay. So you can use the pip install and the package name, and if you want to remove pip uninstall and package name. So that way you can do that. Okay, so how can you install the pip? Pip is utility. You may find your environment. If you have not installed it, you have to install it. There are many ways to get it installed. This is the easier way to install it. Pip after, but again, remember that pip installations you require a Python. So first you have to install the Python, and then you have to install the pip for that. Okay, so these are the package where you can find the pip packages and so on. These are the options you have for the pip. You can install any package, uninstall, download, freeze, list, show, check, config, search, and so on. So these are the options you have. You can work with the pip using that. Okay, so any questions so far?
I'm good.
Okay, now let's understand the programming language. So see, any programming language you learn is not about a Python. First thing you need to learn um, hello world program. That means uh, question is like how to store the code, right? And how to run it after installations. So that's the hello world you learn, and after that you focus on the which are the data types we have in the Python and control like if else and kind of things, and the loops like a for and switch, and then followed by classes, methods, I mean functions and all stuff like that. So advancement, oops concept also you can learn accordingly. So in my machine, I have already installed the Python. So you can just type Python download, and here this is the website. I think the latest version, I think 15. So 3.15 is the latest version, which got released, I guess, last month only. This month, I guess, or last month. Yeah. So you can download from here and install it. It's like every operating system you can use that for that. So I have already downloaded actually. So if I go and search for Python. It's already installed actually. And I have installed some other stuff also like Anaconda Navigator and Jupyter Notebook. These are the editor. I don't use though. I installed for some demos. But typically what you do, you go to the command line, okay, and search for Python. This is a Windows, and you see this IPython has come. That means now IPython where you can run some code and all, and then get it done. So like this, but we don't use it like that, correct? It's Control C. Exit. Done. So now I want to know where the Python is installed. So here, this is the, you see Python installed. Now if you want to know which version has been installed, so check this version. Okay, mine is 13. So I think recently I guess I installed it. Maybe some demo. Oh, for that. Okay, so how do we run the Python program? That's the first things, right? So let's say I create one directory here, and I'll name this Python, and here I'll create one file, 1.py. Now remember that, or you say hello.py. So what I'm trying to say, any Python program you need to store in the py extension, hello.py. Okay, and then you can run using the command line or many ways to run it. Hello, sorry, I need to go to the py folder, right? cd desktop. It's not coming. This is easiest way.
Yeah.
Okay, so here Python and then hello and run. Nothing was there, so it run, but you have to write some program, correct? So simple way you can get it done. Now I have created this whole template, so it will be easy for you to get started. So here's some introduction, here installations, here some pip commands and stuff like that. And here you have executing some sample commands and stuff like that. Okay, hello world program here you have. So you can copy this one. This will be faster your things, and like this. So copy this code. I'll open with Notepad++ and run. Now what you are learning from this. So here, this is the just printing. If you anything like echo, anything you want to print, some string or some variable, you use print. But this is something which is easy, like hello world. But let's say if you want to comment the code inside this Python, how do you do that? So I think you have answer hash. But if you want to do the multi-line comment, what to do? So this is the multi-line comments. You see, this is the format you can keep it. It's a good practice to repeat this line, so that way whenever you will run any Python program directly, automatically it will interpolate. But this not useful for now because for Linux in Windows is a different locations. My Python is somewhere where Python this location. So you should put this location in Windows. But right now it's not important, and run this. So let me run this code. I saved it, and hello Python, see it's coming. So this way you are going to save the code and then run the hello world program. Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you understood that how to store the program and how to run the program after installations. Now most important things which we learn is data types. So in Python we have so many data types. Okay, so now that you need to be comfortable with it. So if you see that here, you have data types like numeric. Numeric, we have three types: integer, complex, and float. Then dictionary, boolean means true and false, set and sequence type like a string, list and tuple. Okay, so sequence type. So these are the major ones. So if you say you need to, if you have a numbers, you can declare using integer, float, a double, I mean complex number, you know. If you have a string, then you can use a string or list or tuple, or there's a dictionary like key and value format, boolean true and false, and set also. So these are the major one. Now examples of each of these are like, if you see that how to declare the different types. So name is, this is like a under the quote, it's a string, right? Integer without a quote. Float, you see 3.7, like floating number and all. Boolean true and false, any variables. And the list, you have indexing concept, cake, toffee, pie. This is the format. Tuple, you put it up. See the difference between a list and tuple. List, you put it in the square bracket, whereas the tuple, you put it in the what do you call it, parenthesis, right? No, sorry, not parenthesis. What do you call it?
Bracket.
Bracket, yeah. And the last one, dictionary, we put it in a curly
But
braces.
so we can include any number of data into list and tuple.
Yeah, yeah, any number. That's not. So first one is index number 0. Toffee is one index number, and pi is the index number 2. That way we put it up. So
Sir, what's
uh,
the difference in list and tuple? When to use what?
uh, tuple, I'll discuss about this. So tuple typically is processing fast, actually taking less memories, and some more advantage we have for the tuple. And dictionary, if you see, you have a key and value. So key is the name, value is Ajay. So for example, variable name is details, and then key, it will print the values. Sets, again, you see here you have a curly braces and all. So this is a very important interview questions, like difference between list and tuple, and difference between the list and dictionary and sets. So for that, I have detailed tutorials which I have written, and that one, let me. So you just, I mean, first you understand the list and tuple in detail, and after that, probably half an hour or 1 hour you need to spend to see the difference. List, tuple, Python. So this will save your time, lots of time, because consolidated one actually. See this good one. You don't need to search for anything else because I spent good amount of time to create this. Okay, so now this is something, list, array, tuple, which is, and dictionary also downside you have it actually. So yeah, this is a very important interview questions, plus uh, if you are building the good algorithms, then this will help you. So you can check it out, this one later, and so on. Okay, so these are the ways. Remember, list, square bracket, tuple, parenthesis, dictionary, curly, and set is like curly again. But dictionary and set has a different format, key and value format, and then set has a different format. Okay, so uh, here there is a one concept called immutable and mutable. What is that? So mutable data types can be changed. You can mutate. Okay, you can mutate means you can change during the uses after the declaration. So that means list, dictionary, and sets you can mutate. Whereas number, strings, and tuples immutable. Data types in Python where the value assigned to variable cannot be changed. So that way you can see that. Okay, so this is the comprehensive image for all data types. Again, few extras are there, which is including the data structure and all. You don't need to know right now. And so again, I have shown you some examples already. So I'll just skip it. Okay, so this is also as the same things and so. Okay, so this is the data types. I'm just ignoring it. Too many things and stuff like that. Now, how do we declare the data types and echo this? So let's see some demo. So go back to this page, which I showed you earlier, this one. And there is one which is having the data types. So here you see data types in Python. Okay, now you have variables in Python. Again, these two numbers, specific one, string, docstring, list, all this thing you have it. Okay, so I think I need just one example which can talk about all. So for that, I think this one should be okay. So now this is a good example, little long, but it will help you actually. Okay, so let me copy paste and run this. Okay, now look at this here. These are the integers, how you declare. These are the floats. This is the complex, and then you're printing each of this. Look at this. Print, 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 float, and now here you have a string. This is the one character, multi-string, Unicode, raw string, and you're printing it. Simple. Now this is the boolean, and here you are printing the boolean. Again, boolean loops and stuff like that. So now just offline after this session, I'm just making you comfortable. You can run this. Now this is the basic one, but now if you, let's say, required more advanced, for example, list and all. So here you have a single integer, double, complex, and list. Here you see list. See how you put the list and how you use it, print it. And this is a range of list. Here you have a tuple examples. This is how you declare the tuple. This is the printing the tuple. Okay, this is a string, and this is a set, how you declare the set and then how you print. This is the dictionary, how you declare the dictionary and how you print. Okay, and same goes with the, and here we have some code for conversion, one type to another type. If you want to convert, then here you have some code. These are the functions available actually. So float is a function, int is a function, float is a function. This is what I was showing you in the slides, where here these are the functions which can help you to convert actually. So you can use these functions to convert into different types. Okay, so try this one and get comfortable. So overall, these are the data types which we have in the Python. Any questions on that?
No, I believe we can try on the editor and it should be good.
Okay. Now, the important question is, like, once you have a variable, what to do with a variable? I mean, something you have to do, right? Which depends on your software which you're writing. So that is where the operators are coming into the picture. And it's not about the Python. Every programming language has operators. Okay. More or less, operators is the common one in every programming language. Some operators some programming language you have a little bit more operators. Some programmings may have a little bit less, but Python has the richest one. So these are the operators available in the Python: arithmetic, assignment, comparison, logical, identity, membership, and bitwise. Out of which, typically first 3 or 4 we use most of the time, and remaining 3 we use depends on the advancement of the code actually and scenarios. So operators which you can use with the variable, the one which you learn, like integer or string or whatever it is. So let me tell you different operator for different data types. For example, you cannot use string for arithmetic operator. It's not making any sense. Arithmetic is a mathematics operator, right? So like that. So I think this is a good slides where you can understand in one go these three important operators and what are the options. And we use most of the programming language. So now if you see that first one, arithmetic operator, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modules, and power and explosion. These all are mathematics. Of course, this will work with the integer, you know that, right? And then right side you have some examples and then results. Now you want to compare. You can call it a compare or relational, is up to you. Some programming languages call it compare, some programming language call it relational. So lesser than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than and equal to, not equal to, all this thing. The results for the comparison operator will be true and false. That means Boolean. Remember, that's important. And then assignment operators where you can do the assign, add, assign, subtract, divide, and assign and multiply. So these, if you want to interpolate some variables into the some mathematics and then you assign before you add some numbers or multiply a number or subtract number and then assign to the variable. So that way you can use assignment operator. So look at this line very carefully. So these are the assignment operator. Okay. So these are some examples. Anyways, I'll show through this and kind of it. So now let me show you some examples for operators. So here in this section you have all the operators, okay, and examples, Python operators, complete options. So let's look for one. Let me close remaining codes. So here, and let's look for arithmetic operators. So this documents you have an explanation, and now this documents will have a again explanation, but some codes which you can copy and try it out in your programming. So I just copy and paste. See here, this is the arithmetic operator, and this is how you do that. Okay, save this and see. So the moment you read this kind of program, you will understand immediately. But the important thing is like you need to remember where to use what while writing a program. That logic is important. And again, this is a more operators for here you have again subtraction, multiplications, all these things you have. Okay, so each of these program you will run carefully, slowly, understand that the output, what kind of output here. See here is equality means return is boolean, correct? So this way you can spend some time and then get going. So here I have a arithmetic operator, assignment operator. All examples are there. So this way it will help you. So this is arithmetic and this is assignments. Oh no, this is a comparison. This is a comparison. So
So if we need some external libraries to support certain functions that we use for the programming, then how do we get it? Like, where do we define it? Like in Java, we define all the requirements in Maven, but in Python, yeah.
So first thing, before that, we need to understand the function, okay, and then we need to understand the classes. Class, function. First, we need to understand this one, okay, and then if you understand this one, then you can, let's say, download some code and using pip3 and install. So there's one website which I said, right? For example, this one. So here you have all the packages. So what you do in Maven is a package manager, correct? So it's dependency management, a build tool also, many functionalities you have. So Maven download the package by default from this place, repo.apache Maven central repository, this place. Here. They download all the packages from here, right? So same way, Python using pip, you can download the packages from this place. Here you have so many packages and contributed by these people. So remember that Maven is a build tool, but Python is not a build tool, it's a programming language. Java is a programming language. So like that. So if you need some configurations, for example, now let's say you need Maven like a configurations. So Python also has a mini framework for development, just like a Flask, I said, right? Or Django. So they will have those kind of things already given.
Yeah. So
There is one
any dependency that we have to add in Python, like where do we add the like
requirement.
yeah. Okay, okay.
There is a default file which is called requirement
Mm-hmm.
uh, that is been mentioned with the Python package. And this package, and Python will automatically download if it is installed. Okay,
Okay,
so that is
okay,
the basic one, but Flask and Django has their own file actually.
okay.
So let me talk about the requirement file. Give me example of requirement file in Python. So you have to declare this requirement.txt file, which Python will read, and then see. So this is the txt file, and here you put this packages. Okay, just like this, and here you name the Flask and version. Now, when you run the program, okay, when you run, for example, this is a manual run, but you can run through the download also. See here. Okay, so when you run programs, so what will happen? This will install all the files, all the packages which is mentioned in this file. So for example, Flask, go to this website, Flask, see here. So this will download the version which is this one or older version also, and it will be downloaded. So like that. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, but don't compare pip with Maven, because Maven is very rich in terms of it has many features. Pip is only package manager. Maven has a package manager as one feature because Maven is a build tool.
So in Python, do we have similar build tool like to build the code, or how do we package it like
So
Python code?
depends on the your framework, Flask, and I mean which framework you use. The core this is supports same, but again depends on your which framework you Flask, Django, and stuff like that. PyBuild is there, but we don't use that one. There is one tool which is called PyBuild that is there, so we don't use it. So if you see that here, so many tools they are suggesting, but it's all depends on your ecosystem actually. Okay, so this is the build PyBuild. Whale is there, set of tools are there. I mean, depends actually. So many things are there in this. Okay, list of top build tools in Python. So because there's hundreds of framework, it's
Mm-hmm.
not that easy to focus on, because in Java we have two, right? Maven and Gradle.
Mm.
But this way, by the way, wait a second. I think you can use Gradle for Python also. Okay, so
Okay.
that is option is there. Gradle you can use it. See, there's no one tool for in Python. Different tool, different activities being done. See? So,
Okay.
for example, you can use Gradle. Can be used. Gradle for Python. So you have to install one extension which I tried few years back, and then you can use it. So you can use Gradle. So Gradle you can use for Java also, Python also. So that way it will be good. Focus on the Gradle, not instead of different tools. So what plugins you have to install? So this plugin you have to install it. Got it?
Yeah.
This will be much easier. Okay, back to the topic. So here we have different types of operators which I was discussing, and then you want to try. Okay, so after operators, you need to learn the conditioning statements. Okay, how to condition, run the code, but based on the condition. If true or not true, depends on that, you run the code. How do we do that? So that is done through if else. You see, very simple one, which we have tried in every programming language. If x is greater than y, do this or whatever. So here you have this operator which is called as equality operators, comparison operators, which you use it. So these are the operators which you use for the comparison. Okay, most of the time. So here if else, that was a if block. Here is a else if else block. Here elif, multiple conditions. Here we have a statement if condition else. This is a different way to put it up, ternary operator, and so on. So many ways are there to put the conditions. So how do you do that? So this code will help you to check all the conditions. Let me show you and copy this code. So here if you see, this is a loop which I'll talk about after some time, but you are running the condition inside a loop. If one more way, here if else, here is you have if else again, and so on. So this way you can put the conditional statement and so on. There are some more examples are there. You can check it out. Now after the conditioning, we use the iterators. Iterators sometimes also call it looping. So in Python, which are the loops are available? So in Python, we have two loops, for loops and while loops. Okay, so this is the while loop and this is the for loop. Okay, so both are very popular. Let me show you directly the code. It will be easy for you. So take it this one. And here you have for loop example. And different examples I put it up so you can try and see the practice is just one time needed actually. So here I is a variable, range from 1 to 11. So keep printing. So I starting with 1 till 11. So it's keep printing like this, but the condition is here. If the moment I will become a 5, then break this loop. So here after the printing the 5, it break the loop. That means 6 to 11 it didn't print. So that way you're looping, you're running in the loop something based on the some range. Here you have a 3, 4. Here you have a list, 4 elements. So it will run 4 times. Depends on the number of list, it will run that many times. So some more examples are there. These are the simple one to get comfortable. Same thing with while also. You can try here while. Okay, so first thing, while check that if it is true, then only you get into that loop. That is the advantage. If it is true, then only you get it in the loop. So you have to understand when to use the while or for, and when to loop, and sometimes loop with the conditioning also you do that. Conditioning with the loop also you can do that. So it depends on that your program requirement. Okay, so did you understand that loop All of you?
Yeah.
Okay. So any program, sorry. So any program which you learn, the first thing is you learn the data types, and then we run operators, and then we learn conditioning, and then we learn looping. So these are the 4 things you have to learn in every programming language. Okay. So after learning all this thing, but you want to write a big program. Okay. For example, I'll put it in this way. You want to create a record management system. Okay. For the college. So what you need? You need add one large program. You need it. Edit. Again, you large program one you need it. Delete. Again, you need a large program. And then read. You need a large program. I'm just giving an example. Okay. So, and in this you may have all the variables you defined with a type, conditioning you added, loop you added, all this thing you did it, and then finally results return you did this. This is the obvious way to run any programs. Set the variable, conditioning, looping, and the return some values. So this will be whole things. So how do you, I mean, and this code you want to have a, I mean, reusable. So anyone can use for adding, removing, and editing, deleting. So how do you do that? And that is where every programming language, including Python, has a concept called function. In Java, we call it a method. Okay, function. So how do we write a function? And that is what is most important one. Because if you want the code to be reusable again and again, you want to run it, changing the parameter, and it will run. So here parameters will be, for example, 3 and 4, 2 parameters. So this will add the 3 and 4 variable 3, 4 will be set, do some conditioning and stuff like that, and then return the 7 here. I mean, just giving you example. So how do you write a functions for any programming language? So in Python, we need to learn the functions. And though we have a different types of function in Python, right now you don't need to go into that, but this is the normal function where you define the function using def and the name and arguments and so on, and return the values. So same way, see here, it's explained. Def means define, name of the function, parameters, do whatever you want, and return. Right now it's just a printing, but it can be multiple complex arithmetic operators and different types of assignments and all, if else, for loop, whatever you want to do, and return some values, right? So this is the function. So function is very important one. When you, for every requirements, you need to write a function. So let me show you some example for functions. This is the very simple function. You can see that. Copy. Here your function sum, passing 2 parameters and returning values. Here adding the a plus b. So this is the function, this area. Now here you are calling the function 3 and 4. You can call multiple times also, no problem. See here I'll write 1 and 2, 1 and 4. Okay, and printing, if you want to print 2 times, I am calling same function. So this will become this code will become a reusable, correct? No, all of you?
Yes. Yeah.
So you see, this is a way you can write a function. So inside the function, the logic will belong to you. So there's some examples for function extra. You see, same way. I mean, that's what's the basic function. Can be longer also, depends. I mean, it has to be longer. So like this. Okay, So that's a function. Now I want to show you some operations which is useful for SRE. Okay, what do you do? I mean, with the using Python, you want to do some operation on the files, right? So what do you do? So directly, I would like to talk about the code, so that way it will be easy. So if you see that here, using Python, you can work with OS, URLs, and reading or writing of files. And this slide is very good, actually, this picture. So if you see that there is a multiple modules are there. Okay, multiple modules, which you call it a OS module. OS module. Here you have a URL live module. Okay, so these modules are not inbuilt in Python. You'll have to download using pip. I'll show you that. The moment you download these modules, the code package, you get lots of function. You get these functions if you download those modules. OS module has this function. URL modules has these functions, like that. Like reading and writing modules, we have open function and so many functions are there. Okay, so look at this here. These are the functions. You can get it for different libraries. So reading and writing a file functions are inbuilt. But if you copy, move, and delete, there is one function called there's one model called shuttle. Okay, very good image actually. If you spend some time, here is shuttle OS. So if you want to do check the file status, OS modules. If you want to move file and stuff, you see so many options. So these modules you can download from the pip. That's not a problem. But the question is, how can we do these operations? So let me show you directly the code. It will be easy for you. And let's do that. Look at this here. So here you have a f, which is a variable, and you're setting the variable with open. What is open? Open is a function which is built in. So in the last session, I showed you how to write your own function, but here is a built-in function. Just like a print is a function, right? Open is a function. It requires some parameter. What parameter? So here it says, hey, open, but which file to open? This file to open in the current location, and open in the mode X mode. So there's a different types of modes are there. File mode we call it. Let me show you all the modes here. W, writable, readable, append, writable plus, read plus, append plus, X. X means exclusive creation mode. This file creation fails if the file already exists. That's some different mode for different use cases. So you're saying, hey, open this file and with X mode. After opening this file, again here you see, open this file with a read only mode, and then read it also, display that also. Okay, here you have some locations.
What is the equal operator doing here? Like we are just opening it, right? That file.
So you can put this one here, but if you want to use that, say this will open up file in the memories. But if you want to make it as a reference, right? So here, what you do? See here. Now it's up to you. You write this way also, this way. But this is so irritating, no? Correct?
Okay.
So
Got
you
it. I was just giving
declare
reference.
something here with this object and use it F anywhere in the program. You don't have to repeat this whole thing. Correct? No?
Okay, got it.
So that way. So this is your object and the values for this. Okay, so this way you can open the file and see write a files if you want to do some writing operations after opening. See, first open, then write, then close. First open, then read. Here open, then write, and then flush means memory flush and close. This is a good practice. Open the files, read it, and then finally remove this. So remove, open, write, flush, close. These are the function. Okay, these are the function built in. This function is from the OS. So in order to use this one, this function, you have to declare that OS import actually starting. So yeah, let me just run one things because I don't have the file, so that's all. So let me run this, and here is say nothing happened because just stop. So now I need to print that file again. See here, what is the error? It said that the file demo.txt file is not there. It's not exist. Correct. My file is also not exist, and demo is also not exist. Correct. So what do we do in this case? So here we need to just let me delete this thing, and I'm going to create one file. And some lines I'll put it up. Okay, and save it and run this. See, whatever the content of the file you are seeing. So this code is good. It will save your time. First, understand that these are the ways to work with file operations. Okay, mode you have to understand. These are the modes. Spend some time, and then open, write, read. This is the read. Okay, and then flush, memory flush, and then close the file, and here remove the files. Last, got it? Now I just said this functions will not work, so you need to import that OS modules. How do you do that? Here it is. You can import this, then it will work. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. One last thing which you need to know about that OOPS concept, though OOPS is a very huge concept, but at a high level I'm just covering. So the whole thing is all about the OOPS concept. OOPS concept you have in the real time also you have to visualize in your mind actually. For example, let's say Brahma, you know Brahma, right? So you are a Brahma for the software. So Brahma wrote what? Classes. Brahma write a class, human class, dog class, animal class, lion class. And human also write a class. What class? Human write a class which is called car. It's written by human, right? Scooter, bikes, laptop. These are the classes. But each car will have a different configuration, right? Same way, Brahma created a one class called men. But different kind of men will have a different properties, right? But something will be common, like a two leg, two eyes, head, and all kind of things. For example, car will have a four wheel, some body, and stuff like that. Something will be common, engine, but the behavior will be different. Correct, no? So, OOPS concept you have to understand. So, what is OOPS concept? So, we have a class, and from the class we create a multiple objects. Simple. Human is a car is a class, multiple different types of car, different properties. Girl is a class, different types of girls. Boy is a class, different types of boys. Correct? So student is a class, different types of student. Correct? So these are the things I think this one we studied in English in your college is also correct. Student. So now the question is how do we declare the class? Because how can you become a Brahma? That is a simple thing. How can you declare the class? And once you declare the class, how can you create an object from that class? Very simple question. And that is what I'm trying to show you. So here if you see, you want to create class, just write a class. Inside the class, you have all the code, 5, 10, 20, 30 functions, which I talked about earlier. You have it. From that code, function means what? Let's say, I'll give you the example. Human is a, I mean, sorry, men is a class. So men will have a certain properties. What property? Common property. 2 legs, 2 eyes, and 1 head, something like that. So this will be common properties for all the men, but different men will talk different, right? So different proper, correct. So each objects will have a different properties. So like that. So class, student, defining a class. How can you define class and the student? That's all. Here colon, you just remember. And if you declare the class, write a code, and then how do you create objects? This is how you create objects. Call that creating a new instance of that class. Simple. Okay, so no need to complicate stuff. Now the question is, can we see the example of class? So here I have some very simple example for the class, and that is, let me check smaller one. This one. Okay, let's understand this. So here, this is your class, this code, line number 1 to 17. Okay, so in the class which is called car, we have a wheels, 4 wheels. So this is a fixed property. That means every class will have a 4 wheels. Correct now? Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every car will have a different colors, right? Right? So here, if you see, there is one class, but how many functions? Human is a class. I mean, man is a class. But function means what? I talk, I listen, I walk, I run. These are my function. So like that, you have to define every class. You have function defined. So there is a init which is default function. More function you can define here. See how to declare the function I talked about in the last session. Right? This is a function. There is a default function. Right? So these are the total class you declare. Now, how to create objects from that class? That means car is a class, but I want to buy one Tata. So car Tata or Mahindra, whatever it is. So here you say C is just a holder. You are creating this line, this code will create a one class. So here car means what? Class car. And you are passing a parameter black and sedan. 2 parameter you passed. So car, you pass the 2 parameters where it will be addressed here. Okay, that's the default functionality for the class. For example, let's say if I say something, where it goes in your mind by default, it's not going into your eyes, right? By default, is going to input as going to your mind, and from there you started processing, right? So same way. So this class will go the default value color black, style sedan. This 2 input added. Now you do whatever you want to process inside that, you do that. So here set the color. This is the variable color style, which is taken from here. And then here just you are displaying, hey, this car is black and sedan. And here what you are doing, changing the color, here overriding it. Here overriding. Here I am saying color is, here I'm passing the color black. Right? Method 1. Changing the color, here your description. So basically, the moment I create an object, only this will be set. If I say this object, hey object, show description, then it will run this one. Then I say, hey object, change the color, then it will try to change the color. Are you understanding? For example, if I say, hey, listen, you are listening. If I say walk, you are walking. If I say run, you run. For example, like that. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
So here we create an object. That object now you can use as like a slave, do whatever you want as per the function defined. So what do you want? So here you are saying, hey object, describe that. So it will print this one. I'll say, hey object, change your color from black to white. And this function you see, c.change color, this function activated and change the color. Then again show description. and then delete the color, delete the object, means die, death, end of this object, death, right? So this is the way you have to define. You need to become a Brahma, declare the class, create objects, ask that objects to perform all these activities, and die. I mean, die means memory, release the memories, CPU and storage. Make sense?
So your self is like a like set operator. Is it like a fixed? Is it
Yeah.
like an operator or it's like
Yeah,
any
it's a
text?
fixed keyword where you are defining this class actually,
Oh, okay, okay.
initializing this class.
Okay.
Okay. So now let me show you this code first. This code. Oh, it's already there, no? So, oops, sorry. See here, look at the output. So here, set the block. Wait a second. Oh, sorry, I'm put in wrong place. See here. Here, show description. So here it was black. So it shows black. Here you change the change the color, then again show description. Here white. And after that you delete that object, delete the color and delete the objects. And if you say after this, after deleting the object, that person is died, that class. So see, last one is error, correct? Got it?
Yep. Yep.
So this is the way you can define. So in a nutshell, if you want to learn any programming language, including Python, first you practice data types, let's say 2 hours, operators 2 hours, conditioning just practice 2 hours, looping 1 hour is sufficient, I guess. Okay, after that function 2 hours, different types of functions you have to practice. I have given example, and then class 2 hours. After that, no need to revise this one and move into the software development if you want to become a developer, or start writing code for file operations. File operations, just now I showed you one example, right? File operation. Do anything using Python. How to do? I mean, for example, I'll show you that using Python. So what to do? So let me show you what can you do with a Python. Literally anything in SRE you can do. So for that, I will use of Python. Okay, just visualizations. Not this. I had written some. I think I need to struggle for finding. That's too many. Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying, like, if you want to, let's say, disk, I'll give you some simple example. Write. Just it's so easy nowadays. Write a Python script to clean the logs under what? Let's say example, var logs, very popular location, right? Var logs, a file which is older than 7 days. Simple. Now you need to understand this code. I'll explain it to you. See here, whatever you discuss. This is the tool library. It has been used because I told you, right? Some file operations required OS and library external. So this library you will not be having in your environment. So what to do? Download this pip install OS. First you do this. Anyways, you will learn that the moment you get error, you'll have to do anyways. Okay, and here this is a warning. Okay, my pip got outdated. It says, hey, you have a different pip and so on. But this one is the package OS is not there. So that means this package is in my Python already. Okay? That's the proof of it. So it's already there. But for example, if you want to download any other package, let me show you other package. So do you have any most popular package list? No. So let's say Flask, and here I want to download. So just copy this code, install Flask. Okay, like this you will download. See here, it got downloaded. Now I can use the import Flask and the rest of the things. Okay, anyways, so here these are the two packages already there. Now here you set the log directory. This is the variable, this is a string. Okay, look at this, this is integer. Okay, here if you see, hello, are you there?
Yeah, yes, we're following.
Yeah, so here is integer, and then here you see this is a little bit different. Understand this, this is a variable. Here you are having function again, I mean this function, and then here you are having operator assignment, arithmetic operator, and here you are dividing, correct?
Hmm.
And here you are subtracting. Look at this. So that means take a current time, subtract to the this much of time, and set this as a variable. See that uses of op. So here variable plus operator uses. Now here is a for loop 1 directory, 2 directory, root, dirs, files. For these are the variables in OS log directory. Walk is a function under the OS, under this directory. That means wherever you find root direction files, do this operation. Again, see here, one root, one loop, another loop. Now here try if conditioning here you have, and then this is something which you follow. This is the real work, OS remove, but function. So this is a straightforward code, but can you convert into the class? Let me ask. Can you create into class and function, which is good practice actually. For reusing the code, it will be good if you want to reuse it, because this will not be reused again and you have to run it. But if you want to reuse the code, you have to convert it into class and function. So that way, this directory you can keep changing and then keep working on it. Got it?
Hmm.
And see here, there's a very good function they have created. This, earlier you used to search for it and used to take time and all. Now it's very simple life. See here, this is the class 4 function. This is default one function, 2 function, 3 functions, and here you're calling these functions. This is one call actually, correct?
Yep.
So this way you have to check that, write a program, take some opportunity. I mean, don't try to learn anything separate, because it's a waste of energy and you won't
Yep.
find interest also. Whatever you do in your SRE work, try to do using Python. That way it will be keep you alive actually. I mean, involved actually. Got it?
Yeah. I have one doubt. Here also we create the objects, right? Like in Java concept, uh, we have something called GC, which actually clean up the objects if it is not referenced anymore. In few, there is a
Ah,
duration, right? Frequency. So how
no, no.
Python objects are? Mhm.
GC is different. GC is a garbage collector. Okay.
Yeah.
See, cleaning the memories and
Mm.
garbage collector both are different. What happens
Okay.
so when you run garbage collecting, we do in Python also. So
Okay.
what happens like when you run the lots of program, and sometimes the programmers see in the programmers, let's say open the file, but they do not close the file. So that will keep consuming the lots of CPU and they will never die. They'll keep it open in the forever. For example, let's see here. I've opened 4, 5, 6 notepad, never closed it. So it's still using memories, right?
Mm.
See here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files open. Never closed it. We're still using memory. So
Mm.
garbage collector is one way to flush all the memories which has been used by the software. Okay.
Yeah, that includes all the objects also, right? If it is not
Yeah. All
referenced
the
anymore. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
for the
So
entire
it's the
runtime.
same GC that cleans up the objects, whether it's created through a Java program or a Python program, doesn't matter, right? Like it's just reference to the memory and everything that
Yeah.
is not referenced. And okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, practice it. Whatever. I mean, the important things nowadays, like whatever you have work, do with the Python or some coding practices. That way, it will keep you alive. Okay.